Hello everyone, welcome to your practice. Namaste, good to see you. Today's class is a continuation of our chakra series. So we're on the fourth chakra, the Anahata chakra. And I'll actually talk to you about this heart, the center, as we are in our very first pose. So what I want you to do is grab your towel. I know I've prepped you guys in previous classes that we need these. So if you don't have a cotton blanket, you're going to need a large beach towel. And you're just going to fold it a couple times so you've got a nice roll. Okay? And you're going to bring it behind you here. And I'm going to turn and face the front edge of my mat. And I'm just going to have the prop right up against my spine here. And I'm actually just going to lower myself down. Okay? So I'm going to bring my feet out in front of me, scoop up the back of the knees. This is the easiest way to transition most comfortably, and then make sure you're right on the prop so it's supporting your spine. And your neck may or may not be supported here, and it's really okay if your head is off. You might want to slide down just a little bit if it feels more comfortable for your head to be supported. But just know that when you roll the blanket, you want it to be rolled up fairly nicely so you're not feeling any lumps and bumps on the spine. So hopefully you're set up here. If you're not, stop the video, go get what you need, come back and just start again. So we're going to actually just find our way to our mat on our backs, palms turned to face up. Knees can be bent here for just a few moments. So all you're going to do here is just start to notice the position of the spine and how this feels for your body. And then you're going to start to extend your legs if that feels okay. So you're noticing if there's any low back sensitivity, and you could keep your knees bent if you needed to. And then just close your eyes as I speak to you about the fourth chakra, the heart chakra, called Anahata. And of course we started our series with 1, 2, and 3. So now we are at the center of the body. And as I've explained to you before, our chakras actually affect the systems of the body. So root chakra affects the excretory system, helps us in our stability in life, feeling more stable. Second chakra has to do with the fluid nature of our hips and is also connected to our sexual organs and some of our lower digestive organs as well. Third chakra is the solar plexus. And so the rest of the organs are affected here. We've got, or not all of them, but the main organs contained in the abdomen area. So all of your digestive system is affected by this particular chakra. The health of your digestive system can be a direct correlation to this chakra's energy. And then we move up to the heart. So the respiratory system is affected by the heart chakra and also the heart itself. So we increase the energy or calm the energy down in these energy centers if we're feeling out of balance in some way in these particular systems. So in conjunction with the heart chakra, we're talking about not only the heart itself, but the lungs are affected as well. So we're thinking about our lungs, our breathing. And in reference to the heart, the emotions of the heart. This is also a part of the body that we guard, with our life, our heart. So while you're lying in this supported back bend, you're actually exposing the heart a bit. You're actually opening up the front of the chest. you're taking the spine in the opposite direction that it's normally in, which would be maybe like a more of a rounded spine, you know, towards the front of the body instead of the back of the body. So we're reversing that with our supported back bend. And so while you're here, I want you to focus on your breath. I want you to drop your shoulders open. And I want you to bring some life and some energy into the heart center, please. So you're focused on your breathing. Nice smooth inhales and exhales as we remain here for just another minute or so. So really just kind of relaxing into the support of the prop underneath you. So there's so many instances, I can't say that word this morning, instances in life where we might guard our heart, where we might have scarring here, where we might have been hurt. I'm sure you can recount a few times in your life where you might have had your heart broken, or your feelings are hurt, or a relationship ended the way you didn't want it to, or, right? The list goes on and on. So, and this can apply to your youth, you know, your childhood as well. So as you start to learn about these energy centers, you also start to learn about yourself a little bit more. So maybe you can recount a time where you have felt like you were hurt, and then of course we go immediately into protective mode, and so we start to close off this area, meaning the front of the body starts to shut down just a little bit, gets tighter, our shoulders start to round a little more. So let's examine that in your own body. Do you feel congested here? Do you feel really tight? Does your breath feel very stagnant? This is a way to know whether maybe the heart chakra needs to liven up a little bit, whether you need to release, surrender some emotions that you're needing to let go of, or be open to more love and compassion. Do you have a hard time being compassionate for other people? Do you only see things for yourself instead of for others? That could be the sign of a very guarded heart. And you might recognize that in others around you. So normally it's through pain that we develop this guarded heart. Okay? So we're going to do a breathing pranayama to start class with today to help to enliven the heart chakra, but also do a full practice designed to help stimulate this particular chakra, open it up a little bit more. So from here, you're just going to very slowly roll to your left side. Do not sit straight up. You just roll off your prop, nice and easy. And just take that up to perhaps the top edge of your mat, and then with your hands, support yourself and rise. And then sitting back, sitting up into a seated position, we're going to practice a little pranayama that you probably haven't done before. We're going to take our fingertips to the tops of our shoulders. We're going to sit up really tall. So now maybe we feel a little more open here, like we can sit up tall. We sort of did slouchasana is what I like to call that supported back bend. So bringing your hands to your shoulders, you're going to inhale and turn to your right, and exhale, turn to your left. So you're just going to twist the torso, and then we're going to reverse that. Okay, so you're going to inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Keep going. Inhale, exhale. Stop to center, take one deep breath in and one deep breath out. And let's change sides. So we'll inhale left, exhale right. pause. Take a couple of deep breaths here, in through the nose, out through the nose. So we do pranayama to really invigorate the body and to liven up the parts of the body that need life, okay, where there's stagnation. So think of it that way. All right, and from here, you're just going to actually turn to the front edge of your mat if you're not already there. Let's do a few rounds of cat and cow. So knees are underneath the hips, hands are under the shoulders. Let's inhale, lift our chin and look forward. Exhale, round the back. Inhale, drop the belly, arch the spine. Exhale, round the back, pull the navel in. 2 more. Inhale, lift and round. So lifting and shining your heart forward and rounding the spine. Good. Press the right hand into the mat. Lift your left hand up. Breathe in. Exhale and reach it underneath. Bring your left temple to the floor. And take a nice little shoulder stretch here. So this is going to be primarily an upper body focused class. Or front of the body, upper body. So you're going to be doing a little bit of back bending. But this should feel really good when you're done. I love to do upper body classes. And then come back to center. Let's take our right hand up, reach. Pull the navel in as you do that. So supporting the back, and then reach it under. Let your right temple come to the mat and just kind of melt. Nice and easy. Keep the belly pulled in here. So just releasing and feeling a nice stretch for the outer shoulder. And you're going to feel all that space around the shoulder blade, right shoulder blade stretch as well. So just kind of noticing those parts of the body that are getting a little bit of a release. And this is just a beginning. Good. So come back to center. Extend your legs out behind you, and you're going to extend your left hand out, straight out from your shoulder. Palm is on the floor. Right hand is going to come underneath your right shoulder. Elbow is bent. You're going to turn and roll to your left side. You're going to bend the right knee and place the foot behind you. If that's not possible, you're going to stack your knees and bend them, or stack the legs straight. Let your left temple come to the mat. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Nice chest stretch here. So if you've never done this before, you might have felt a little awkward going into it, but it actually feels really, really good. So just expounding on the chest opening here a little bit more. Breathing, noticing how you're feeling here. For most of us, this feels amazing. Obviously, if you have a shoulder injury, maybe this is not the one that you want to do. Come back to center. Extend your right arm out. So I'm just resting on my forehead here. Left hand comes to be placed right underneath the left shoulder as you turn and revolve to your right, positioning your legs. Head's on the floor. So you're relaxing your head. You're not propping your head. So as you move today, the breath is full, so you're really bringing in the nice smooth inhales through the nose and the exhales through the nose as well. So we're not holding our breath. Remember, we're exercising the lungs, the diaphragm, muscles supporting the ribs, the fascia, everything in connection to our heart center. Beautiful. Our emotional heart center, our intuitive heart center, our intelligent heart center. Good. And then come back to center. Press yourself up. Let's step our right foot forward. So you're on your left knee, and you're just going to step forward and just lean into the lunge a little bit. Supporting yourself with your hand. If you feel too much in your low back, you back up a little bit. Do what feels appropriate for your body. And maybe lift the chin as we stretch just a little bit. I like to warm up. I mean, sometimes I like to jump on my mat and move, but sometimes just kind of moving into some stretches at first feels really nice. It helps the rest of the practice go a little more smoothly. Left foot comes forward. Left foot's underneath the right knee. Support yourself with your hand and just lift your heart. Here, lift your chin. Remember, we don't want to collapse here today. We actually want to think about opening up, lifting your chin. Good. Squeeze your right glute a little bit, and that'll help to support your low back. And then again, backing out a bit if you need it. Good. From here, knees underneath. If your knees are really fussy too, you could always take your mat and fold it over for a little extra cushion just for a few moments. I'm going to do this now. I'm going to bring my forearms down. My palms are in prayer. My hips are over my knees. And I'm going to reach my hands up and over my head as I sit my hips back as far as I can. So now you're stretching the space between the elbows and the armpits. You're feeling the triceps, you're feeling the shoulders, you're feeling the space around the shoulder blades. So also focusing on the back of the heart, not just the front. How's your breath? When you're still and holding a pose is when you really focus on your breath. So if you lose sight of that along the way, anytime you pause in a pose and hold it, think about your breath. Hands come back to the mat. Slowly walk your hands back. Untuck the prop. And step your right foot forward, step your left foot forward, and come into a forward fold. And just dangle for a few breaths. Let's interlace our fingers into the crooks of our elbows again and just let the elbows dangle. We did this in our last class, the twisting class. Feels really nice to kind of open the upper body just a bit more. If your knees need to be bent here because your hamstrings feel really tight, please do that. It's appropriate. It's appropriate for your body. So you're just listening. Good. And then bring your hands to your shins. Slowly extend the spine into a flat back position by straightening your elbows. Look out. Good. And then bow again. And then let's curl up through the spine nice and slow. And then reach your hands tall all the way up to the sky. Draw your hands down through heart center and bow again. So bend the knees as you do this. Come all the way down. Good. Then sweep up again, soft knees as you rise. Hands sweeping wide, gaze lifting to palms, drawing the hands down through this heart center, releasing them to the mat as you come down. Let's do it one more time. Rolling up through the spine, reaching up, and then slowly drawing it down. Fingertips to the floor, bend the knees, step your right foot back and let your right knee come to the mat. Untuck the back toe. Inhale, float your hands up. So we're looking to open the front of the body, so feel something here. So if you're too far back in the hips, you're not going to feel enough. So I want you to shift your hips forward unless you know you need to protect your low back for some reason, and then reach your hands back. Lift your gaze. Good. Float your hands to the mat, step back. Upper push-up position. Let's lower first time, knees, chest, chin. Knees, untuck the toes, lower your heart through. Roll shoulders back, shine your heart forward as you press into cobra with elbows bent. Elbows hugging the ribs. Good, and then tuck the toes, pick up the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Good, let's look forward. Let's step our right foot forward. Left knee comes to the mat. Inhale and float up. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Reach your hands back to the degree that feels good. You want this to feel great for your psoas. So do the move that feels best for you. Or do to the extent that feels good. Float your hands to the mat. Step to the top of your mat. Bring your feet together this time. Hands to shins. Inhale, half lift and lengthen. Exhale to bow. Inhale to rise up, maybe with knees bent like we did in the beginning. And then let's just draw our hands back down through our heart. fold forward, engage the core as we do this. Step the left foot back. Again, low lunge again. Float the hands, moving a little quicker. Press through the right foot to feel support. Float your hands to the mat. Step back, down dog. Breathe in. Breathe out, shift to plank. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, you choose. Inhaling up dog or cobra. Look forward, left foot steps in between the palms. Right knee lands. Float your hands up, lift your gaze. Press through the left foot for strength and stability. Beautiful. And then float your hands to the mat. Step your feet together. So I really push off that back foot as I step forward. That gives me a little momentum. So notice if that feels good when you do that, or that gives you that momentum that you want. Hands to shins. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale and bow. Inhale to rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Surya Namaskara A. So inhale, rise. Exhale, hands sweep wide this time as we forward fold. Hands to shins, lift and lengthen. Good. Exhale to bow. Right foot steps back, heel to heel alignment. Left knee is bent over the ankle as you inhale and rise for warrior one. Reach back, extend. Pausing. Noticing your breath. Good, and then exhale, hands to the mat, step back, upper push-up position. You could shift to down dog and wait for us if you want no vinyasa. Otherwise, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin, cobra. You choose. Look forward, step the left foot in between the palms. Actually, step back to dog. Sorry, guys. Right foot needs to come forward this time. Right foot steps forward. Back heel lands. Heel to heel alignment. Knee over ankle. Inhale to float your hands up. Breathe in. Shine your heart. Really drive down through the back foot a lot. Keep the leg really straight as you rotate your pelvis towards the front edge of your mat. Reach, extend, length. Beautiful. Hands come to the mat. Let's just step forward into our forward fold, okay? Hands to shin, lengthen, and then bow. Again, knees can be bent here if you need it, and then really bend the knees as you roll and rise. Good, and then just draw your hands to your heart again. Take a breath. Let's do one more. Surya Namaskara A, Sun Salutation A. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bow. This time, step back to plank. Lower knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, or stay in down dog if you want to be in down dog here. Those of you that know dog, just move to your dog right here. I'm going to inhale and lift my right leg up behind me, squeeze my butt a little bit for engagement of the leg. Good, and then knee shifts forward, look forward, step forward, warrior one. One more time. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bow. Step to dog, left leg rises, breathe in. Bend the knee, shift it forward, step it through. Back heel down, inhale to float. Good, and then hands down. One more vinyasa here. So plank, or you move to dog. You choose. I'm going to go with my chaturanga today. I'm feeling randy. I'm feeling like I want to power it up just a little bit. But this is your practice, so make it. Maybe you need a child's pose right now. You're just going to notice if that's what you need. Couple of deep breaths here. Good. And then lower to the knees. Sitting on the heels. Shake out the hands. Let's interlace our fingers behind us to open the chest again. So palms are pressing towards each other if you can. Shoulders roll back, shoulder blades towards each other, towards the center of the body. Shoulders drop as hands drop towards the heels. Breath is easy. Good, and then release. And let's take eagle arms. So I'm going to bend my right elbow. My left elbow is going to come underneath. So I'm going to sweep it underneath. I'm going to clasp my fingers. And I'm actually going to tilt my arms to the left. So my elbows are going to move to the left in their shoulder height, if you can. I know that might be a little challenging, but just bring them to the left and then take your gaze to the right. How's your breath? Release. Take the other side. Left elbow bends, right arm sweeps under, clasping if you can, grabbing something there, lifting the elbows and then turning them to the right as your head turns to the left. Breath. Good. Release. Elbows come to the floor for dolphin pose. So palms are going to be down here. Elbows are going to be underneath the shoulders. Let's lift our hips up and back. And while you're here, so it's like you're in a dog, right? But your elbows are down, forearms are down. Your hands are in front of your elbows. Your elbows are under the shoulders. Press your chest towards your inner thighs to strengthen the upper body just a little bit. Relax your face. Take 3 deep breaths. Rest if you need to. We're only here for 3 deep breaths, so see if you can hang. Tailbone lifts up. Core is engaged. Everything's working. Good. And then release to the knees. Sit up for a moment. Beautiful. And then just come forward, step to the top of your mat. We're going to move through a standing series. So let's go ahead and just inhale and rise. Beautiful. And then just draw your hands down through your heart. Pull your navel in and slowly fold forward. Good. Inhale, half lift and lengthen. Beautiful. Step your right foot back to a high lunge. So you're stepping back first, okay? You're on the ball of the back foot. Walk your left foot over a little bit so it's right underneath your left knee and you're not on a tightrope. Good. Inhale, float your hands up. Reach up. Again, feel the front of the body open. That's what we're looking for today. Feel the breath expand if you can. Good. And then spin the back heel down. You're going to be in warrior 2. So I'm going to be facing away from you for this first one. Sorry, guys. Left knee is over left ankle. Hips and shoulders are in alignment here. Extend your arms. Settle down. Then gaze over the left middle finger for a couple breaths. So stay broad across the chest here. We're looking for that space. Engage the back body a little bit. And then we're going to interlace our fingers here. And I'm going to gently start to pull on my right hand with my left. So I'm going to actually draw the right shoulder back a little. And then turn and look to the side. And let's really square our shoulders to the side wall. Yeah. Make some adjustments. Feel the pose. Do what feels good here. Oh yeah. Let's reverse it. Right hand to right thigh. Left arm reaches over for your reverse Virabhadrasana. Good. And then right into side angle. Left elbow to thigh. Right arm reaches over. If you know the more advanced version, you go there. You place your hand on the floor. I'm staying right here because I know what comes next is going to be a little challenging. So knee is over ankle. Right fingers are extending away. So I want you to feel this long line of energy between your right fingertips and your right outer ankle, outer edge of foot. Can you feel that? So you lift the right inner thigh a little bit. I'm engaging my right glute, feeling the power in my body as I turn and revolve open. Breathing. Good. And then right hand to your waist. Take your gaze down, step your right foot in. This is where a block might come in handy. If you don't have it, it's okay. You can do this without. Stepping it in, reaching for the block or the floor. Lifting your right foot up for Ardha Chandrasana. Find some length in the neck. Start to turn the right shoulder open a little bit. If you want Shavasana, which is more challenging, you're going to bend your right knee, bring it towards your chest, clasp the ankle. See if you can go for the clasp, the top of the foot. And then you're going to do a little back bend here by squeezing the heel towards the glute, but resisting that. The foot and the hand. So you're pressing your hand into your foot into your hand here. Good. And then extend everything out if you were there. Bend your left knee, step your right hand back. Come back into your warrior two. Breathe. Let's reverse. Gorgeous. And then float your hands to the mat. Downward facing dog. Stay here. Move to child's pose if you need a break, or take a vinyasa. The vinyasa is plank, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhaling to up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Nice and easy. Let's lift our right leg up behind us. So now we're in our dog. Lift it up, nice and tall. Swing it through, knee to chest, hug it in, pull the navel in, then step your foot through. Back heel spins down, arms windmill up. Now you're on your right side, opening to the left side of your mat. So find your beautiful warrior two. Heel to heel or heel to arch alignment here. Tighter hips will go wider, heel to heel. You decide. Extend the arms wide. Settle down. Settle the breath. So you want to feel like someone's pulling your arms away from you in this pose. So you're really strong here. Like if somebody comes over and pushes down on your arms, they're not just going to fall. There's like, this stiffness to the arms as you reach your hands away and then broaden across your chest. Let's take that clasp behind us now again. This time pulling on the left hand with the right. So I'm interlacing my fingers and then gently pulling on my left arm. So my left shoulder opens a bit. And then readjusting my warrior two stance if I need it. And you're probably going to start to feel it in your legs. Warrior poses are about building strength. And we need that. Good. And then reach your hands out. Let's reverse. Really extend and then keep bending the right knee. Try to stay there. Keep reaching your right fingertips away. Good. And then float your hand or forearm, to your thigh. Option maybe to grab the ankle or bring your hand to the floor if you like. I'm going to reach my left arm over. Don't let the left shoulder come up to the ear. Draw it down, away. Find some space. Maybe turn your gaze under the left arm, up towards the sky. Now settle the hips down even deeper. Yeah, good. Now bring your left hand to your waist. Take your gaze towards your right foot. Step your back foot in. Reach your right hand out. Now listen, the hand comes under the shoulder, not underneath the body. So it's going to come off of your mat quite a distance. Out and forward and a little bit to the right as you lift your left leg. Flex the foot of the left leg. Turn the hips open, turn the heart open, shine. If you feel really steady here, Chapasana, bending your left knee, clasping the foot or the ankle, and opening up here. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, you're going to release the clasp. Bend the right knee, left foot to the floor. Float back into your warrior. Settle. Reverse. Gaze up at the right hand here as you slide your left hand down your left leg. Good. Keep bending the right knee. Float your hands to the mat. Good job, guys. Step back to dog. Take a couple breaths here. So I want you to walk your hands back a little bit. I want you to pedal one heel down and then the other. Nice deep breath. Good. If you want the vinyasa, you take it. Maybe knees, chest, chin. Maybe you need child's pose here. That was a challenging sequence. Up and back. So in your dog, you want to look like an inverted V here. Your ears are in line with your arms. You want to squeeze the upper arms towards your ears so that your arms are really straight and strong. Melt your chest towards your inner thighs. Lift your tailbone. Beautiful. Drop to your knees. Sit back on your heels. Take a breath or two. So this might be challenging all by itself. Give it your best shot. If you've got your prop behind you, you could also place it in between the legs, in between the calf and the hamstring, I should say. And then sit back. That feels better. It's actually softer for the knees, so you might want to try that. Shoulders back and down. Breath is steady. A little break, a momentary break before we keep working. You're doing great, guys. You're on your mat. That's the most important thing. Glad you're here. So really looking to free up the space around our heart today. Let's open it up and shine just a bit. All right, come forward. Step your right foot forward. Step your left foot forward. Come on up to near the top edge of your mat. Doesn't really matter where you're standing. We're just going to do a balancing pose. So step on your right foot. So hopefully the front of the body is a little more open. The chest is open. We're going to move right into Natarajasana, which is dancer's pose. Okay, most of you know this one. You're going to reach your right hand forward, square your hips, left hand to your waist to start, to square everything to the front edge of your mat. Pull the belly in and send your tailbone down to feel really stable here. Okay. Bend the left knee, clasp the inner foot, and then line the knees up with each other to start. Okay, and then from here, you're going to slowly let the knee come back towards the back of your mat as you lift and press your foot into your hand, creating this bow-like action of the upper body. Stay as long as you like. Come out when you need to. Do a little dance. That is dancer's pose, right? Good. Step on the other foot. Pick up the toes, place them back down so you really feel you're the foundation of the pose. Then it's all about core strength, okay? Stabilizing the core. Let's reach our left hand out, right hand to waist. I'm going to turn my right hand out and palm turns to face up. Okay, I'm going to scoop up the inside of my foot. Square my hips and shoulders. Feel the stability in the low body. And then slowly start to drive it back. Do your best. Good. Release. Swim it out. Dance it out. Just find some lightness. Lightness brings us more love. That's what we're looking for. All right, let's squat. Let's just take our toes out to the side. Bend the knees and just squat down. Just maybe move side to side a little bit. Bring the palms together and drive the knees out to the side with the elbows. So you're pushing. So my feet are pretty wide here. And then broaden and brighten across the chest. So pushing the arms back helps to keep us from collapsing the shoulders. And that's what you want. You want to stay broad across the sternum, the shoulder blades, or not the shoulder blades, but the, collarbones. Hello. And I like to rock in this just a little bit. All right, since we're already almost seated, come on back. Let's take boat pose. Reach your hands. So shins are perpendicular to the floor. Chest is lifted. You're not collapsing and rounding in the upper back here. Continue to breathe. Good, and then slowly lower down. Let's do a few bicycles. So extend your right leg, left knee bent, and let's criss and cross a couple times. And when I say a couple times, I mean 15 on each side. So give me your best effort. Turn and revolve the shoulders completely. So none of this, okay? It's big twist, side to side. Working the obliques. Yeah. Probably got 5 more. That's 5 and 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Good. Knees to chest. Oh, lovely. Rock it up. Legs behind you. Come to your belly. Wiggle the hips out, forehead to the mat. Hands slide back, Bhujangasana, which is cobra pose. So hands slide all the way back to the ribs, the top of the ribs here. Squeeze the elbows in. Shoulder blades move towards each other as your shoulders drop away. Press into the tops of your feet. So lift the kneecaps. Inhale and slowly lift your heart. Little back bend. Slowly come down. Take your fingertips wide now and prop them like little spiders, and your elbows are pointing up towards the sky. Again, Bhujangasana. Inhale, rise. I like to call this cactus cobra. Good, and lower. Hands underneath the shoulders. Slowly rise. Child's pose. Walk the fingers away. Feel the stretch in the low back. 2 solid breaths here. Good, and then rise. Remember that little mat fold over I told you. Let's do it again. I'm going to take my mat and fold it over once, so I've got cushioning. I'm going to come onto my knees. If you've got your blanket handy and you want to use that, go for it. You can place that underneath your knees for Ustrasana, camel pose, okay? So again, elbows come back. So we've got this action now, right? We've been doing this quite a few times today, so we should have this down, right? So squeeze the elbows towards each other, root down through your knees a lot, tuck your tail under you to slowly revolve the hips forward, or press the hips forward, I should say. Lift your heart. So your head doesn't have to go right off the bat. I'm going to tuck my toes under because that'll bring the floor a little closer to me. You'll see what I'm talking about. You're going to lift your heart, take your little back bend, maybe drop one hand to one heel and the other to the other. Option to stay here. Okay, if you don't feel safe letting go, just do the option with your hands at your waist. If you're here, explore rolling the shoulders open a bit more, pressing the pelvis forward, lifting your gaze towards the sky, or letting your head drop back. Then slowly let the spine head tilt back up, untuck the toes, sit on the heels. And notice the rise of energy right up the spine into the head. You can feel this, this shift of, it's like this little lightning bolt that kind of runs up your spine. It feels so yummy. There's that word again. Sorry, guys. Child's pose again. Unwrap your mat. Sit your hips back. We got one more, just little upper body strengthening. We didn't really do many vinyasas or planks, so back into dolphin pose. So elbows down. And if you want to do like just a plank here, you can. You could do a plank here. Otherwise, we're going to try to go for dolphin, tucking the toes, lifting the hips up and back. And those of you that like to do more upper body work, you might lift one leg up. You might actually look at the mat and kick one foot. So I'm kind of doing little hops here. I'm going to try the other side. So I step my left foot to the center as I lift my right up, squeeze my butt, looking at the mat, elbows are under shoulders, and little hops. Drop to the knees, child's pose. Good, and then rise up. Knees come forward, cross at the shins, lower to your back, hands underneath. Come on back. Just feel the energy here. Hug your knees to your chest. So a lot of back bending today, which is awesome for your posture, but also for opening up our guarded hearts. And most of us are guarded. We are guarded these days, aren't we? We don't know what's going on on our planet, what our future is. We're guarding ourselves. But I can tell you one thing, since I've been having to be at home like everybody else, I've been getting on my mat almost every day, and it makes a huge difference in my mental state. I can just tell you that. So find your way to your mat. It changes your perspective so much. Bring your feet close to your hips, right in line with the knees and the hips. Hands beside you. Let's inhale and pick up our hips. Moving into bridge pose. I'm going to interlace my fingers underneath, but you could keep your arms down if you want and just feel your butt engage. This is about the back body strengthening, but this is also about pressing down through your feet so your legs are activated, okay? Yeah, you want to feel activation. You want to roll the inner thighs down, so in and down. Maybe you interlace your fingers and crawl your shoulders under you or your shoulder blades and really press. So there's this real bowing of the upper body. Take just a couple more breaths. I know this is challenging, right? Because you're really working the legs. You're feeling the butt. I'm feeling my glutes work. I like to call this building the yoga butt. A little firm butt so it looks good in your yoga pants, right? And then slowly, or your leggings, whatever you like to call them, let your hips come down. Not that any of us are concerned with that, right? We don't care about that, but sometimes, every once in a while, that a little bit of that ego pokes in, and you're like, oh, I need to firm my butt just a little bit. And then from here, just kind of rock the knees side to side. Nice big breaths. All right, and then just come on up here. Let's do fish pose. So just bring the hands underneath your hips, bring your elbows under your shoulders. So we're still staying with that action of trying to keep the chest open here, okay? And all I'm gonna do is puff up my chest a little bit and really kind of arch my low back, drop my head back. And then just release out of it. And then slowly push your way up. Bring the soles of the feet together. So inhale, sit up nice and tall. And exhale to come forward. So just a loose Baddha Konasana, not really having the heels in too tightly. We don't really need that. Maybe reaching the hands forward. Extending the breath. As we talk about the heart, we know that the heart actually is intelligent. It has intelligence, and when we have been hurt or harmed in some way, we feel pain in our heart. There's a tightening in the chest that happens. It could happen. And then if it happens to us over and over again, then we begin to build fear. And so we live out in the world in with fear constantly, right? So from here, let's cross our legs. So bring the left foot on top of the right. So either at the shin or on top. If you can tuck it in here, great. Inhale and reach your hands up. And exhale to bow. Again, coming to your degree of flexibility here. You could also prop something under your hips if you feel really aggravated in this pose, if you don't feel comfortable. If you feel like you're rounding your back too much, that's a good sign. That just means that the back body's really tight still and you just need a little bit more work there. So it's really, really not healthy for us, and then slowly rise to be always operating from fear. If we do, then usually our actions are not true. So we learn to recognize that. Are we operating from fear, or are we operating from a place of healthy heart? Okay. So sit up nice and tall. And honestly, we need our heart, we need our emotions and everything connected to it, and our feelings are important. And if you have a tendency to be over emotional, that can be a heart chakra out of balance as well, like an overactive heart chakra. So if you have a tendency to really just be super sensitive and, cry really easily, or I know it's hard from a woman's standpoint because we have a wide range of emotions, don't we? We feel things a little deeper than men normally do, but I will tell you that my husband's pretty sensitive, and he feels things, and that's healthy for everybody, not just women. So just stretching the outer hips now. All right, and then just sweep your right leg back into the side here. So my left foot is right in my right knee, and I'm actually going to lift my hips up here and just expand. So I'm going to lift up, reach my right hand up, and just curl my heart open. Maybe do that one more time. Come down and just inhale and rise. Let your head drop back. You can stay so frigid because Our whole body is in shutdown mode with all the actions we do, sitting at our computer, reading our books, looking down on our phone. Let's take the other side. Inhale and sweep it up. Lean back. Come back down. One more time. Inhale, reach. Come back down. Extend. Flex and point a couple times. Dandasana, so hands by your side. Press into the mat and sit up nice and tall. Flex your ankles. Scoop up the knees. Lay yourself back down. Let's just let our knees sway a couple times. Then we'll move into a twist, okay? So I'm just going to let the knees sway side to side. And then I'm going to let them fall to my right. So just let them fall to the right, keeping your feet right where they are. If this feels like enough, great. If you want more, you could pick up your right foot, place it on the outer left hip. You can also reach your hands overhead and really stretch up. I'm actually going to reach up and clasp my left wrist, reach my hand up, and really reach my right hand to stretch the left side. And then I'm going to unwind, come back to center, pause. Windshield wiper a couple of times, right and left. Let your knees fall to the left. So your feet are, away from each other and you're kind of in this wide twist position. It's a little different. And this may be enough, especially if you have knee stuff. You don't probably want to do the other option, which would be to pick up your left foot and place it on top of the right thigh. That's just going to deepen the stretch a little bit. So honor your body. Notice whether this hurts your knees. Take a couple of breaths here, and then we might actually reach our right hand up, clasp it with our left hand, our right wrist with our left hand, and extend long. I feel this lovely stretch. And then slowly take the top foot off, come back. Pause with the knees bent. Feet are wide, they touch the edge of your mat. Let your knees drop together. Just for a few breaths. So this obviously would be your opportunity to maybe grab your essential oil towel if you like to place something on top of your eyes and smell some essential oils. As we slowly start to transition to Shavasana, and in this particular pose today, maybe grab your folded up blanket and place it right underneath your knees and just drop your knees down. Maybe have just a little lift of the low back. If you've got something higher you want to place there, then go for it. If you've got a bolster. I highly recommend props if you don't have them already, and they will last you forever. So if you go online, there are several yoga accessory businesses out there online that will ship to you directly, and you'll get them within 4 or 5 days, and all different qualities. If you're going to use a bolster, I like a rectangular bolster, not too thick. Bolsters are amazing for yin. And then blocks, having 2 blocks is good. And also a cotton blanket. I like the Mexican style blanket, and they sell those on the yoga websites as well. So probably going to spend maybe about $50 total for some props, which may seem like a lot, but if you're just getting into your yoga practice, or you're considering taking it up more seriously, it's amazing to have these things at home and available to you. So when you do your home practice, you can practice with your props. You have what you need. I use them every time I get on my mat. So then you're just relaxing. You're just to relax back, closing your eyes, breathing deeply. Face is soft, jaw is soft. And notice when you relax the gripping of those body parts, the face, the jaw, the muscles around the eyes, how the mind softens too. So we don't necessarily notice in everyday life how the tension in our body might be actually affecting our mental state. And if you're just diving into yoga, it might take a while for that to sink in and for that to actually be apparent to you. But just know that over time, it actually happens fairly quickly. It did for me, at least. There was just this shedding of tension that I had built through overuse of my body in certain ways that I was doing things, and just long held, built up tension and emotion. So your yoga practice can be healing if you allow it to be. Just reading a little poem from a book about the heart. It's called A Heart Prince. Whatever our hands touch, we leave fingerprints on walls, on furniture, on doorknobs, dishes, books. There's no escape. As we touch, we leave our identity. Wherever I go today, help me leave heart prints of compassion, of understanding, and love. Heart prints of kindness and genuine concern. May my heart touch a lonely neighbor, or a one-away daughter, or an anxious mother, or perhaps an aged grandfather. Send me out today to leave heart prints. And if someone should say, I felt your touch, may they also sense the love that is deep within my heart. Please just take a few more deep breaths here. Really expand Again, use this moment of awareness to expand the breath. Notice how much easier the breath might feel to you. And then let's hug our knees into our chest. So just bring your knees into the chest. Give yourself a big hug. Rock side to side, sway. And very gently let your knees fall to your left side. Pause there for a moment. Good. And then with hands to assist you, just press your hands into the floor. Rise with closed eyes. Come to seated position, cross-legged, eyes closed. Just feel and notice the sensations in your body. And then just sweep your hands out wide. Open up, take a breath. Up towards the sky. Signifying your connection to the divine. Bring your palms down through the heart. Let them rest at heart center. Let your chin move towards your chest. Acknowledge the gifts in your life that you actually have. Take acknowledgement. Know them. And make your heart prints out into the world today, however you can. Namaste. Love you guys. See you next time.